Hey guys, welcome to A Story with Rory. We are here tonight with Renee, a very special guest on the show, and she has a
Oh
UFO
wow, that
sighting.
sounds like a really bad connection. Let me get outside on my front porch again.
Okay.
You're sounding really choppy. Okay. All right, say something, see if that works better.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear
it's
me now?
better. Okay, yeah, it's better out on my front
Okay.
porch. Yeah, I can hear you clear.
All right.
Okay.
So I guess go ahead and start with your story, Renee. You're calling from California, is that correct?
SoCal, San Bernardino Mountains. I'm a Cali girl.
Sweet.
West Coast all the way from Long Beach. hmm
Nice. Well, I guess go ahead and tell us your UFO sighting. Tell us what happened.
hmm So, me and my boyfriend were doing shrooms, and we just like took them. And so I said, "Hey, I want to go to the lake." And while we're on the way to the lake, I said, "Hey, this mountain, it's so magical, honey. It's really like a mystical, magical place to live." And so then we're at the lake, and we didn't feel anything. We're like, oh, okay, we got ripped off, or I don't know. So we were kicking back on this one bench and looking up at the stars, and we noticed that there were like two lights. Well, I know that there's police drones in this area. So we were talking about it like maybe it was just like a couple police drones or something. Um, and then I looked away. He looked at the same spot where the police drones were, and he saw something go down in the trees, and then it came back up again. And he said, "Oh my God, I don't want you to think I'm crazy, but I see something in the sky." And then he goes, "It's over there." And I looked right at it, and it was like this. It looked like a rocket, like it almost like was on fire. It was going up, and it was actually going in between the two drones.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then it was like lit up for a minute, and it was going straight up, and then it wasn't lit up anymore. All of a sudden, and it was like a long oval. Like I would explain it like a big blunt because I'm like from California. Because all of us like are the stoners out here. So I'm
Right.
from Midtown stoners in Long Beach. So I'm about that. But so I was like, oh my God, what is that, honey? And then all of a sudden it was so big. It didn't look like it was that far away.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a oval shape,
Okay.
but the tips were kind of pointy, like a blunt. So like how I can explain it. And then all of a sudden, on the side of it, started like projecting these symbols that were lighting up, and it was like they were changing, and it reminded me of the Goodyear blimp on Scarface, how it was like lit up and it said "the world is yours," because I'm all about that movie. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is that? Oh my God. And we were tripping out, and then
Yeah.
it went up, and it started like, I remember it started like moving kind of like a snake. It reminded me of that Centipede game in the 80s when
Oh
it would
yeah.
kind of wiggle around, and then and which I just played that game recently too, and I was and then it started going straight, and it was like it wasn't real close, but it wasn't that far away either. And it was like you could tell it was like this huge UFO ship, but it was just like an oval. And then it started going in front of us really slow, and I could see the lines going on it, like and
Mm-hmm.
like there was like two long lines close to each other, and then it was like a line here and a line there was more spaced out. And we're like, whoa, we're just watching it so amazed. And then there was kind of like a cloud in the sky because the sun had just set. Like we had just saw the bats flying over the lake. That's like my favorite time of the night because I love Halloween and bats and webs and things
Mhm.
like that, you know. And then all of a sudden, when it went over to the cloud, from the tip of it that was going that way started to disappear and it was going real slow too, and there was no noise, and all of a sudden it just vanished in front of us, and we're like, what the hell? Oh my god, what did we just see? And
That's
my boyfriend's
strange.
like, you know what that was? I'll tell you what that was. And you don't know that. I mean, who
So
really
your
knows
boyfriend
what
saw
that
it
was?
too?
You know. And then after that, we're just, then the shrooms kicked in. After that, we were like, oh my god, I can't believe it. I was like, you know, like, we really just saw that thing. It was so amazing, you know. And I felt we both, I, I'm a very spiritual person. I see things before they happen in my dreams sometimes, or my intuition. I'm a very highly spiritual person. I vibrate very highly, being Apache in Spanish. Um, that's what us Chicanas are. Chicanos in our culture is we're Native American and Spanish, and because I just felt like they were watching us. And my guess is that it's ancestors, aliens. I believe in my native culture, it was our ancestors. Even the natives would talk to the aliens. They knew that that was our ancestors. And I believe that I'm a star child. I have a lot of numbers around me that are not coincidental. That everything happens to, there's no such thing as a coincidence. And I'm a highly spiritual person. Like, I saw my house before I ever thought of moving here, up in the mountains by a tree. By there's a turnout up when you go up here, and I had a dream of the same turnout with a tree with the rocks. I saw my balcony real high up on my house. Before I moved here, I have a balcony real high up on my back, in the back side of my house.
Hmm.
I saw a sign in my dream that was red with white writing that said "Love one another" long before I moved here. And there's a sign just like that around the corner. Um, I speak for the Creator. Sometimes I give people messages. I told the people up here in this mountain that, you know, God wants you to be more loving. Because when I came here, they bullied me so bad. They were so mean and hateful online up here in the mountain. So I promote love. I don't. You could believe whatever you want. I don't believe in religion. I believe in love, compassion, understanding, respect, in being connected to each other as humans, and all this like um, colonization, genocidal type of um, society that we live in now, chasing money all the time, is just vibrating low for this earth. And the Native Americans, they vibrated very high, and they had a lot of more spiritual knowledge. Um, and it's like we're going backwards now, but it was a really awesome experience. I was really shocked for a couple days. I was really
Hmm.
shocked. Like, I couldn't believe that we saw that. And then a few nights later, I was on my balcony at around 3 in the morning, and I was looking up, and I saw a triangle UFO, and it
Dang.
was black. And I have a lot of trees because I live in the forest, so it
Hmm.
was right where I could see it, and it was just going, no noise, moving really slow, just like the other one, and it was just, and it just went right by, and then that one disappeared too, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, they're really out there. And then my friend called, and I think it was that night my friend had called. I have like one friend up here, um, and he or a few whatever, and he said he saw the same thing, um, the big long UFO oval one. And he was like, yeah, me and my girlfriend, we saw the same thing too, so don't trip. And I
Was it on the same day or was it a different day?
it was a different night.
Okay.
It was like a few nights later he saw the same thing. So
That's crazy.
I looked online and I've like I'm trying to find that ship, like, because I've seen it. There's like videos of that long ship like that online, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on some reels.
Yeah, so it's really out there. And um you know, we just, I tell my boyfriend things like, you know, we don't know a lot. I'm like, I'm cool, I'm smart, you know, I know how to tattoo, and I'm a graphic designer, and I know how to do nails, and I know how to do a lot of things, but there's always like so much we don't know. And we have to have that mindset. We never can think that we know it all. We're here to learn, you know, on this planet. And it's like, it's just like, we just, there's so many things that we don't know about that is out there. Like, I've heard
Right.
the theory of that aliens made us, and they're experimenting on us, and or they're like, they're watching us, we're being watched all the time, you know, to see what we're going to learn in our destiny. And so I'm always trying to change myself, and because this world is really cruel. I've had a really hard life. I wouldn't want to come here and be reincarnated again. Like, I'm over this planet for reals, you know, like I want to learn what I need to. And it's like all about self-reflecting, you know, and changing what you need to in your life. And a lot of people don't do that these days. And I think it's extremely important for us to find what we are here for and what we need to learn while we're here, because they are watching us, and maybe they did make us. And you know, and I sometimes I question, like, is God real? Why does he cause so much suffering in the world, you know? um and there's just so many things that we don't understand, you know, and that we don't know about a lot, you know. We really don't. But I do know that Native Americans did have a connection with the aliens, and they called them their our ancestors. So I pray to our ancestors, which I are also my relatives that passed away. I always feel them. I sense them. I get messages from them. I'm also like a medium. Give messages to people from people that passed away. They guide me to do that as well. I'm a strong medicine person in my Apache culture, so I really feel like we were there at that time because they wanted to see us. And I feel like they were watching us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of vibe I got from that, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
That's a crazy story, man. I mean, to see something giant, you know, just fly over the mountain like that, that would be pretty spectacular to see. You know, I've seen
and
some
then
reels where they're like
then it
that.
just disappeared, like went in another
Yeah.
dimension. It was
Yeah.
so amazing. I was so shocked, especially on
Cool.
shrooms, you know, like, woo, doing a good one now.
Yeah. Well, Renee, I thank you for being on the show and thank you for telling me your story. And
You're
I sure
welcome.
appreciate it. And, you know, there might be other people out there that have seen the same thing that you've seen. And that's a high possibility, you know, and hopefully I'll talk to those people as well. And we can kind of merge some of the stories together and see the similarities and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, maybe I can get my friend Gino that saw the same thing to be on your podcast so
yeah,
that he can, like, tell his story. How, you know, he didn't
maybe it's
see
like,
it go like a centipede, because I
right,
explained that to him, but he did see it though, and there was
like a
lights
different
on it.
perspective or something.
Yeah, so
Cool, cool.
but I feel like they're watching us because this world is not good, and there's too much corruption going on, you know, and like mind control devices, and these corporate companies trying to make us struggle, and there's a lot of things that I know I don't want to say too much because I don't want to put myself in danger, but this, the government in the world is just so corrupt right now, and I think that they're watching us, and they're like, and they're just concerned, because uh, I feel that the whole answer to the whole world is love and compassion and respect for and being connected to one another. Because they don't want us to be connected. Because when we're together and united, we can stand against the evil against them, and that's why they try to make us like fighting men against women these days. All these controversies about women saying that we feel safer in the forest with a bear, and they're just like really stirring it up.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there is a lot of things that people need to change about themselves, and there's too much hate and anger and violence in this world, and it's not safe. And I'm all about love, so that's what I represent as Web Social Loca artist and tattoo artist and author of a book called Web's Crazy 8 Tattoo Coloring Book that is on Amazon. I promote it as an anti-bully book, anti-racism book, and
that's cool.
love. Yeah, and I just feel that that's my calling, to promote love, because I used
Okay.
to be a drug counselor and I helped a lot of people. So I've
Well,
never
that's good.
been like a grimy person. I've always been a person that God is using, and He guides me to speak good words to people. So
That's
that's why.
good.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad to have you on the podcast, and thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much for
you
your
for having
story.
me. Uh-huh.
And yeah, send me a link of your friend or whatever. I'll try to see if I can have him on as well.
Yeah, I'll try to get a hold of
So,
him and let him know. That would be so amazing. It was so amazing when I saw. I'll never. Me and my boyfriend will never forget that.
right.
It was almost scary.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that wraps us up tonight. Thanks again, Renee, and I will
Thanks.
talk to you later.
All
So,
right, thanks. Have
guys,
a
thanks a
great
lot
day.
for watching A Story with Rory.
Thanks.
Until next time,
Yeah, I'll share it on my Facebook page. Just
all right,
send me the link.
I will. All right,
Okay,
and
great.
we're
Thanks.
out.
Bye.